Lamborghini 24-year-old Clint Boyer makes his NASCAR Busch Series debut here in Texas, and what an opportunity it is for the native of Emporia, Kansas. This isn't any old race car. This is a Richard Childress racing car. Boyer sharing this with Kevin Harvick this season, and he will roll off 6th. Dick Berggren.
Put Joe Nemechek right on the short list of people who are liable to have a very successful day here in Texas. He won here last year. He's finished 3rd twice, 4th once. This guy has a terrific car. He starts in the 4th position. He has Brian Patty sitting up on the war wagon, one of the most brilliant strategists in all of automobile racing. Watch Joe Nemechek today. Mike?
Thanks, Dick. Today it is a beautiful day for racing here just outside of Fort Worth, Texas, as our starting grid continues to scroll by.
There you see right there, air temperature 72.4 degrees. And right now, if you notice, turn 1 and 2 is quite warmer than 3 and 4 because the sun is on 1 and 2. This is a little bit of a concern to the teams because yesterday morning in final practice, the racetrack was much cooler. There was a lot of adjustments going on to try to compensate. And remember, these guys only have 3 sets of tires they can change under caution.
Look at the turn 2 condos from our aerial coverage as the field winds past. Darrell, a dozen drivers tried to make both this race and tomorrow's Nextel Cup race. Is it the money or is it the chance to learn today to do better tomorrow, or is it both?
I think it's a combination of both, Mike. These guys need laps on these new tires that everybody keeps talking about. The other thing is great purse here. 3rd best purse of the year. That brings out the best in everybody, including cars.
There you see our race analysis. I talked about the pit road speed, 45 miles per hour. This could be a factor right here. 60 to 65 laps on fuel, 200 laps. You need to be able to run 66 to 67 to possibly do it on 2 pit stops.
A lot of strategy to come into play that we'll track throughout the afternoon. Field coming to speed. Green flag.
Slow start, but gets a good jump there. Greg Biffle in the 60 car, he'd like to beat David Green in the 37, down to 1 and 2, try to fall in the 2nd spot.
Make a note of how that 5 car restarted. Really quick on the restart. Already I'm on the start of the race. We'll watch him on restarts because that's where they had a problem here last year.
Greg Biffle in the 60 didn't get a very good start. He's going to fall into 4th place.
They were 4 wide down that back straightaway. I think Biffle was trying to figure out what Kyle Busch was doing and time it, and just didn't quite get it as right as Kyle did. You can't beat the pole sitter to the flag.
There's a lot of combinations in the gearbox for restarts, for starts. Some guys take off in 1st gear.
Well, we got a car. I believe that might be Bobby Labonte. No, that would be J.J. Yaley in the 18 car. Joe Gibbs' car.
Boy, now here comes, oh man, Tony Raines piles in, and Jason Schuler.
What was up with that? Well, I tell you, that's a hard lick for J.J. That's right in the driver's door. Tony Raines got hit in the rear by this car right here and drove him into J.J.'s car.
That's Jason Schuler in the 10. J.J. Yaley moving around in the car as the rescue workers get there quickly.
And boy, you can see the damage. I mean, look at all. Here's the roll bars right in here, and the sheet metal all pushed in around it.
Welcome back to Texas. 8 laps complete. We're back under green. Tony Raines replaced Damon Lusk in the 74. That car just as badly damaged as Yaley's, just hauled off to the garage. As far as we know, everybody is okay. Kyle Busch leads them around. David Green, Martin Truex in 3rd. Let's get a look at that on board. And its operator. And the battle up front.
Clear back by 5 right there. That 60 was in your beard. No pressure.
You hear direction in the background as Dale Jr. operates the camera in the upper left on the bumper, the back bumper of Martin Truex, looking back at Greg Biffle, the 4th place car.
Well, Greg Biffle is no longer the 4th place car. In the last lap, he lost positions to Johnny Sauter in the 27 and Joe Nemechek in the 87. Right now, Biffle's car is just not going very good.
If you just get up on the outside right now, you're going to lose a lot of spots. You get freight trained by the inside line. Well, hopefully that'll get better as the day goes on.
Jeff Burton in the 9, making the pass on Mike Bliss in the 20.
Here's Matt.
Mike, our in-car camera specialists be happy to know the engine appears to be fine. Also, Martin said during the caution back on lap 6 that just like the final practice session, the car is loose on entry, snap loose in the center. But the good news about that it will tighten up. That's the trait that this race car showed during the final practice session. As you see, Junior working the controls and little Martin working the wheel.
Thanks, Matt. Gus Wasson has gone to the garage, joining Schuler, Yaley, and Raines.
But I think that's typical Texas. You come here knowing that the car has to be a little free in the beginning, because the more you run, the more rubber gets laid down, the more fuel you burn off. It seems to tighten up. The car wants to turn less and less.
I'd like for the crew chief to drive it until he gets to that point where it's tightening
And
up.
then you'll take over, right?
Yeah, I'll take over after that. Oh, trouble off 4. 87, Nemechek.
Saves it. Wow.
Caution is out, though.
That's as good a save as you'll see.
That like to have been very, very big.
He's all by himself. He's just coming off turn 4. The turn 4 is such a fast turn. The track really opens up right there. You know, it's coming into the tri-oval, and you get a lot of run, a lot of speed right there.
Dick Berggren.
I was just listening to the radio, and Joe Nemechek just came on and said, I don't know what happened. And his crew chief, Brian Patty, said the back end just broke loose. They are going to come in and make a pit stop for 4 fresh tires.
The hood of that car carries the Cellular One Race for Young Lives logo. And there's a coloring contest to benefit children in need of organ transplants. This is National Organ and Tissue Donor Month. So Joe proud to carry those colors. Good thing that car doesn't need a parts transplant after what happened.
Great save. We saw it right there. He was, like, as you say, totally by himself. But I will tell you, Johnny Sauter in the 27, Greg Biffle in the 60, just squeaking by.
If you look back down, toward the top of your screen there, coming off at turn 4, there's the track just really opens up, and you're back in the throttle way back over here, running wide open as you exit that turn. You get up so much speed, you run out of bank, and you spin out. All by myself.
14 laps complete. Second caution of the day. A no contact spin by Joe Nemechek. Four cautions in the first 60 miles here. Green flag. Hornaday, king of the restarts, gets past Biffle. He's going for Hamilton.
And what he did was perfectly legal. You can pass to the right-hand side on a restart once the green flag is displayed. So what he did was perfectly legal. He was up there challenging Bobby Hamilton Jr., but it looked like he had to get out of the throttle off turn 2. Now he's being challenged by Biffle.
So he's going to give back what he just gained, but it was a heck of a restart.
Yeah, they've got him trapped on the high side right now as Greg Biffle in the 60 clears him. Now Casey Kane in the 38 pulls up behind him.
Got to wonder, Darrell, the way he wiggled around down in the corner, could he have gotten something on some debris on his tire?
Yeah, you see how much, Mike, see how much room there is off of 4 there on the outside, because you don't want to get up there, but he's all the way down on the straightaway. He just gets a good jump to the outside, but I've been watching these guys. They've been timing that restart pretty darn good, and he timed it perfectly.
Tell you what, we're talking about a car that's been on the move. Johnny Benson in that one car right there. He started back in 39th position. His car was not that good in the beginning. In fact, on the first 2 stops, he came to pit road topped off for fuel-made adjustments. Then, like Matt Henson, he rolled the dice on that pit stop on lap 35, and he's moved up now the top 10. As we start to see Mark Truex in the 8 car, he's trying to make up the ground he lost by being blocked in on pit road. Remember, his car owner is working these onboards right now.
You know, that view out the front didn't look like there was a lot of lane left on the bottom there as he tried to make that pass.
There isn't. You just have to make it you have to make it the size you need it to be.
Still there by himself.
There's his car owner and onboard camera operator, Dale Earnhardt.
What's this video game cost anyway?
I don't know, but they don't need to be running side by side, I can tell you that. That's not a good plan.
No, they're backing up a bit to the leaders.
Well, not only that, but they'll suck that car. Truex will get loose down underneath the Hornaday and get into him.
Yeah, I mean, right now, they're running in the 30-70s, and our leader's running in the high 29s.
Clear behind him, clear. If you need it.
Single file. Yeah, the front 9 have now gotten away. As you have a look from Jason Leffler, who is the 12th place car. Michael Waltrip racing at 13th place. Jeannie?
Well, Michael finished final practice Friday and said the car was, quote, horrible. Can't even remotely come close to driving it. Now, they did not test the car here. And the crew told me, you know, if we would have tested here, we would have learned not to bring this car here. So they changed everything but the chassis. The car was plowing a bit before that last pit stop, but it has plowed its way up from 23rd to 13th. Steve?
Well, Jeannie, the guys in the booth documented the fact that Jeff Burton had problems on that lap 35 pit stop. Johnny Sauter also got caught in the pits, was running 5th on that stop, made his adjustments, but got blocked in by the 66 car of Billy Parker, dropped all the way back to 17th. Now he's made his way up 1 spot to 16th.
Let's get back up front where Kyle Busch, the 18-year-old rookie, is beginning to put pressure on Matt Kenseth.
And I believe that's the difference, Larry, in the 2 tires versus 4 tires. 2 tires will run good for a little while, but I don't know how long they'll hold.
Yeah, I mean, I still think Matt Kenseth and that group made the right call because they got the track position. He already said earlier, look, I need my car in clean air, but yeah, I think it won't be many laps that those 4 fresh tires will probably overtake those 2.
Matt?
Kyle Busch just told his crew chief Lance McGrew 2 laps ago, when he, meaning Matt Kenseth, protects the bottom, we are not too good, as he works all over the back of Kenseth trying to retake the lead. And Darrell, for a guy who's been on an emotional roller coaster all weekend, this is going to be great medicine running up front.
Oh yeah, there's nothing any better than a fast, good handling race car to make you forget all your troubles.
David Stremme, Tim Fedowa side by side. Fedowa got a good run off the bottom of turn 2.
This is a battle for 17th. There you have the battle for the lead, and on the left you have the battle for 17th on the right.
But you know, I watched that 5 car come up off turn 4, and he's got a little move that he makes right there that gets him right out next to the wall, which is what's gotten him in trouble here a couple of times.
But I tell you, as you notice, we've got a 3rd car that has crept into this picture, David Green in that 37 car. He's right there behind Kyle Busch now in the 5.
Robbie Gordon running down Michael Waltrip for 13th. And Jeff Burton had caught Tim Fedowa in that battle we showed you a minute ago.
One thing, Larry, Mike, nobody's ventured up off the bottom very much. You still got to protect the bottom. That seems to be the only groove there is right now.
And you know and I know if Kyle Busch is waiting on Matt Kenseth to make a bad move and get off the bottom, it could be a long time before that happens.
You may have to help him.
And it's now a 4-car fight for the lead. 2 Fords, a Chevy, and a Pontiac. The Bruco team of David Green and Johnny Sauter electing to stay with the Pontiac, where most all the other GM teams have gone over to Chevrolet.
And I walked down there this morning and looked at all the cars. I said, I want to see what's up with this Pontiac. I tell you, I can't tell a Pontiac from a Chevrolet from a Dodge, so I don't think it really matters what it is.
Because pretty much the major part of the car, as far as the greenhouse, the deck lid length, are all the same on every make. It's the nose that's the biggest difference.
They all got the noses all laid back on them. I tell you, the cars are funny looking to me.
But I wonder, Darrell, that team told us at the beginning of the season they were just going to use up what they had and convert over. They haven't converted anything, so there must be something to this.
There probably is, and not only if you got the only one like that, well, there's nobody to compare you to.
That's true. Here's Matt.
Mike, not only are the crew guys on the 5 car smiling because their driver is trying to retake that lead, they're also smiling because the guy who was behind the wheel of this 5 car last year, Brian Vickers, just snuck in the pit to hang with his old crew guys. I talked to Lance McGrew twice this week, and he says the guys and ladies, Lisa Smokestad, the tire specialist on this team, they all had a lot of motivation coming back here. They felt like Brian should have scored a his first Busch win in this event 1 year ago. A miscue on a restart. They're hoping that maybe they can get a little revenge on this great Texas Motor Speedway and help Kyle get his first win here.
Lead battle just a car length apart. You know, the last time anybody snookered the field with a Pontiac in NASCAR was when everybody was bringing Grand Prix and Regals and Olds Cutlasses and Daytonas.
Yeah.
Bobby Allison rolls in with a Pontiac Le Mans, a car that nobody had considered. It was in the rule book as legal, and that slant back rear window helped him on in the Daytona 500. And everybody was shaking their heads.
Oh, yeah, they pulled a fast one. They took it at Talladega and secretly tested it, and here comes the 5 car on the outside.
And Darrell, what he's done about the last lap and a half, he started working in that high groove, and it's really worked for him. He's able to keep the engine RPMs up off turn 4, and there you see he's going to do it again off turn 2. I think he'll win the drag race down his back straightaway.
Yeah, you get a lot of momentum when you come off there high like that. And I noticed a couple of cars back in the pack is doing the same thing, starting to move up. Michael was one of them.
One of those is Tracy Hines, who restarted in 33rd and is now up to 26th.
The only thing you got to be careful of is it's tippy-toeing when you get out there like that.
Green flag, green flag.
David Stremme almost got a piece of the wall in turn number 1, while Jeff Burton's attempts to move up through the field have been thwarted by traffic inside outside.
We've got traffic everywhere. Martin Truex Jr. in the 8 car. He's still up there in the effort to get that lap back, but he's lost a lot of positions with those 2 right side tires.
Let's have another look here at David Stremme, the red car, going off into turn 1 on the high side. It just...
There isn't a lot of grip going into turn 1 on the outside, I can tell you. We've seen that a couple of times today. Got to ease it in there, and then you look like you can move up in the center and off all right, but a little treacherous getting in.
Jeff?
DW, what I'm hearing from a lot of the drivers, especially on restarts, we've seen this a lot on the start and restarts today. Lower air pressure with these cars make them very unstable, and sometimes the tires have a tendency to lose that grip even quicker until that air pressure comes up.
And of course, Jeff, the reason these crew chiefs start the air pressure down is they know it's going to gain a tremendous amount of air pressure over the course of a long run, so you have to start them down. You don't want to start them down so low that it's going to be too wormy on fresh tires, but you have to start them down a little bit.
Yeah, 50 pounds is the recommended pressure in the right front tire. The minimum that Goodyear recommends is 47 pounds. So that's only 3 pounds out of that right front tire.
Ron Hornaday alongside Michael Waltrip back at about 12th place.
Come on. Michael's been racing hard to hang on to 12th and 13th.
They're double wide ahead of him in 3 places.
Yeah, we got a side-by-side battle right now between Robbie Gordon and the 55. Johnny Benson in the 1 car. That's a battle for 7th. That 1 car, he just looks like the more this race progresses, the better that race car gets. Remember, started back in 39th position. Steve, what's going on with Robbie Gordon, though?
And he's having a good run, too, Larry Mack. Robbie Gordon started 17th all the way up into the top 7. On that last pit stop, they made a track bar adjustment and some air pressure adjustments to free the car up a bit, and it seems to be working. Larry Mack just wanted to add, we just heard Robbie Gordon say, I have a vibration with this set of tires. He
that goes through these drivers' mind, no different than with Mark Truex Jr. You just wonder if you have a loose wheel, and we see David Stremming in 32 car. He comes to pit road under green.
Well, he had the big slide up the racetrack in turn number 1, and evidently there's problems as a result. So David Stremming will lose at least a lap. Kyle Busch, Joe Nemechek. This race has kind of settled down where everyone's separated by between 4 and 6 car lengths, all the way back to about 12th place.
He's talking about Robbie Gordon a while ago in the 55 car. You know, when this season started, he was only going to run a limited schedule. But because of some good runs, he has worked his way up to the 7th in driver points. So he, along with Michael Waltrip, who was not going to run the full schedule, Michael in the 99 is 4th in the points. These guys right now are going to flirt with running the entire schedule, just as Greg Biffle and Johnny Sauter. So that means all these guys will be at Nashville next week when the Busch Series is there on FX on Saturday.
I've been really quite impressed with Robbie's operation. That's run out of his own shop, and his guys and everybody's doing that car, and they're doing a good job.
Yeah, they got a late start, and they just recently moved into a new shop, and you know what a toll that can take on a race team.
You have to put racing aside for a little while.
David Stremming's problem was a flat right rear tire. He's back in the race as we look at Michael Waltrip and Casey Atwood.
That's kind
14th to 15th.
Chicken and the egg. I don't know if going up the hill caused that or if the tire caused that.
But when you look at Casey Atwood in the 14 car there in 15th, remember back on lap 41, he was one of the cars that spun over there with Billy Parker in the 66. So these guys have made a nice recovery.
Stremme on fresh tires, moving past Martin Truex. And Stremme is 2 laps down. Truex is 1 lap down due to an unscheduled stop. Bobby Labonte moving up and on the inside. He is the 6th place car. Johnny Benson right behind.
I believe the deeper we go in this show, our onboard camera operator, he's getting better and better. Dale Earnhardt Jr. We may have him on a regular basis. Pretty intense in there.
He's trying to figure out what's wrong with Martin's car. Is what he's trying to do.
Well, I think what's wrong with Martin's car right now is called 2 right side tires versus all these fresh tires. But right now, Dale Jr., he just needs to hang in there the first car a lap down. That's the most important thing for these guys.
Yep, that's true.
Junior, you were one of the first drivers to really come out and say that you had played a lot of video games to help develop your driving career. Is operating these cameras, is it at all similar?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's pretty similar. I don't know. This is a little video game in itself, I guess.
And Junior, I'm sorry these guys keep bugging you, man. I mean, that's just a crew chief film. They got to take notes, and they got to know everything, you know?
Yep. It's fun, though.
All right, have a good time. We'll get back and concentrate here, too.
Okay.
Kyle Busch by 0.6 of a second up on Joe Nemechek. Bobby Hamilton Jr. another 0.3 back. David Green, Greg Biffle, the top 5.
But I'm sure he'll be like a normal driver. When I quit talking to him, he'll go, am I in this race by myself?
He probably will.
Matt.
Mike, Jason Leff has been trying to work his way into the top 10 all day. Started out 11th. His car has been tight most of the afternoon. On the previous run, Jason told his crew chief Billy Parker that the car was tight, chattering the nose. The track bar and air pressure adjustment has helped the race car, currently running 9th. But Booty told me the biggest thing about today, their agenda, just to finish in the top 10. They need to gain some momentum. They've had some good runs at Las Vegas, Bristol, and Rockingham, all gone out the window due to things out of their control. They want to try to build some momentum as we start to get into April, May, and June.
Now, been a top 10 car all day, Darrell.
The one thing that I'm noticing, now, you see how he's holding on? He's not gripping that steering wheel like we always had a death grip on that thing, you know, like we're really hanging on. And I think what's happened is with the seats the way they are now, and with the Hans device and everything that the driver's got to lean on, he doesn't have to hold the steering wheel quite as tight as he used to. He's a lot more relaxed.
It's loose. Coming outside. Let him go outside. Clear behind him.
Jason Leffler currently 9th, Robbie Gordon 8th, Johnny Benson 7th, Bobby Labonte 6th. 5th is Biffle, 4th is Green, 3rd Hamilton, 2nd Nemechek, and Kyle Busch is the leader after 118 laps in the O'Reilly 300.
We have 62 laps to go, but things were falling all around us with 4 cautions in the first 45 laps. This was the start of the race. J.J. Yaley in the 18-car wrecking, and then watch as Tony Raines and Jason Schuler slam into him. All 3 cars out of the race. All the drivers were okay, and so was Joe Nemechek, who worked his way up inside the top 5, actually up to 2nd after this terrific save. And then on lap 32, the rookie Clint Boyer losing it on his own. He's in Kevin Harvick's car, so there will be a points change at the top. The leader of the Busch points race, and his onboard camera shows you what he saw. And then engine problems with Greg Biffle, who was at the time running 5th.
Getting set for the restart, Casey Atwood did not pit, and he is the race leader at 140 laps.
Now I want to talk about Jason Keller in the 22 car. Now he came in about 16th or 17th, and he's sitting right now in 7th. I do question what Wes Ward did right here, though. 2 right side tires. They already had 35 laps on those left side tires. We have 60 laps to go. I know you try to do everything you can to get track position, but what we've seen earlier in the race, I don't think that will work out.
Probably not a very good idea, Larry. Not at this point, anyway. Matt.
DW, before the 59 of Compton pitted, you had the 14 and 59 ahead of Kyle Busch. Crew chief Lance McGrew said, I'm not really sure why the 14 and 59 are in front of you and didn't pit. And then Brian Vickers chimed in and said, trust me, whatever you do on the restart, do not improve your position. Wait till you pass the line.
A man of experience.
But I'm like them. What's up with the 14? I mean, why did he not come to pit road?
Yeah, because again, all these cars have 35 laps on their tires, and that's half of a fuel run. And by pitting right here under this caution, I think talking to everyone this morning, you could make it to the end whether you go green or yellow.
Good question. We'll try to get an answer.
We'll find out.
As we get ready for the restart, it's Atwood, Kyle Busch, Hamilton, Robbie Gordon, Compton, Green, Keller, Nemechek, Menard, the rookie, and Leffler, the top 10.
Yeah, Casey spun the tires on the restart and got those hot tires on there, a lot of laps on them, picked up debris. I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah, I mean, he can't get to the back quick enough now. He's already back to about 5th or 6th coming off turn 2.
Must be some bonus for leading the lap, maybe. What do you think?
It's not a bonus now because he's probably back to about 12th or 13th.
I can hear him squealing all the way up here.
Come on, get out of it. Come on.
Now he's going to come to pit road.
Oh, that's not a good idea.
I need 4,200 to come on. Come
Four
on,
wide
come on.
coming off the corner trying to get around him.
Larry, maybe he couldn't make it on fuel. He needed to run a couple more laps.
Yeah, but here they come to pit road on the first lap after a restart. That's what I don't understand.
Is he out of tires?
No, they're changing them now.
I know, but he can change under green.
That's right.
Maybe he's out of tires.
You know what? He had to use a set when he spun a while ago under caution, and a lot of cars didn't. He had to be out of tires. So he had to wait till it went green to change those tires. Boy, I mean, that's bad feeling right there. That's exactly what it was, though, DW.
So Atwood goes a lap down. Dick Bergman.
Well, right now we're going to check on Casey Atwood's situation and find out why they didn't pit under the caution flag and why instead they just pitted now. Jake Guy, crew chief, why did you just pit now rather than why did you pit now rather than under caution?
Well, we don't have any tires left. The flat spotted our tires there earlier in a crash that we weren't responsible for, but yet we still got caught up in it. And flat spotted didn't have any tires left, so we had to pit. And you know, it's unfortunate this was Navy Chevrolet because we really had a good car today. It's been one of the faster cars all day, and feel bad for Casey and the rest of these guys because it is a good car. But we're going to do the best we can and just keep going on. We'll take this car to Nashville next week and give them hell there.
Okay, thank you. And that's the answer on Casey Atwood.
Boy, it sure was tough getting out of the way of the rest of those lap cars so he could pit.
Yeah, I mean, we have a battle right here brewing for the lead with Bobby Hamilton Jr. in 25 and Kurt Busch in 5. But DW, I like the tire rule in the Busch Series. That's the 1 week length, though. There's a guy that spun out, had a good race car, but because he had to use a set of tires and he spun out, he's out of tires.
And with this tire that we have this year, I almost think they need to give him another set of tires, because this is the 3rd week in a row we've seen somebody come up short on tires.
Let's see if Bobby Hamilton Jr. can put his Marines Ford out in front of the low Chevy of Kyle Busch. He's caught him. What can he do with him?
2 young guys, good battle here. Ford, Chevrolet. We don't make them very much out of that very often, but I think here you might want to think about Hendrick, and I guess that's what tires he got on the hood. Yates.
Robert Yates.
Jason Leffler's had a great run today here, battling Johnny Benson right there for 7th place, Matt.
And a great run going by Jason Leffler. Restarted in 10th. Booty Barger made a track bar adjustment, up 1 round. Jason said the car was a little tight in the center. He's made up 3 spots already after the restart. Hunting with 87, Joe Nemechek now.
Makes me nervous when I say I'm a little tight in the middle and they make too many adjustments, and then you get real loose in the middle.
Especially knowing that last adjustment, that was your last pit stop. That's going to be the last adjustment you get to the checkered flag.
At the front, Hamilton stays just 2 car lengths off the back of Kyle Busch.
And as I walked through the garage area this morning, I always ask a lot of the crew chiefs, what's the car you're going to have to beat today? And a lot of them pointed down toward that number 25 car, Bobby Hamilton Jr.
Now the free pass car in the last caution was Martin Truex as you ride along. Moving underneath Mike Bliss. And
clear.
Truex picks up 19th position.
And of course, he had been running in the top 5 all day long, and back on about lap 81, he had to make a green flag stop because he had a vibration, had a left rear tire loose. And about 20 laps later, just as everybody was about to make green flag stops, the caution came out, put him a lap down, but fortunately he got the free pass. Right now, Martin Truex, who's 10 seconds behind our leader, Kurt Busch, he needs some cautions to get caught back up.
Another good day, rookie Paul Menard in Andy Petry's 33. That's Bobby Labonte in the 29, moving to the inside of Menard.
If Bobby's saving anything, he better start using it, Larry, because he's been hanging around 8th, 9th, or 10th most of the day. I thought maybe he was just laying back, kind of letting things come to him, but I don't know. Here comes Burton as well. Looks like they got that car back where he would like to have it.
But it's taken them about 100 laps to overcome that loose wheel they had, not loose on the car, but getting away from them on pit road way back early in the race. It's taken them about 2/3 of the race to recover from that. And right now they are about 6 to 7 seconds behind our leader, Kyle Busch.
Kyle's opened up a little daylight now on Hamilton Jr. Not much, just maybe half a car length a lap here.
Casey Kane to pit road.
Now he's one of the lead lap cars. Matt?
A great run today going out the window for young Casey Kane. He hit pit road in 8th, went out 17th, trouble on the stop because some lugs fell off. Now he reports he's got a bad vibration. Feels like he's got maybe loose lugs on the left side. He says the vibration is on the left side of the race car as the crew goes to work. Tough break. 30-18.
Guys, I know I question the move Wes Ward made on Jason Keller, the 22 car here. He restarted in 5th on the last caution, made the move 2 right side tires with 35 laps, but he is solidly hanging on the 5th. And here we have 48 laps to go. You just wonder, though, 20 or 25 laps from now, like we saw with Matt Kenseth early in the race, will those 2 tires be overtaken by everyone that has 4 fresh tires?
And how about Joe Nemechek, who came back from a spin that brought out the caution at lap 14, but only dropped him to 17th spot. He is sitting in 6th, Dick Berggren.
Last pit stop wasn't the best, Mike, but the real problem Joe Nemechek is suffering from is the car simply is not handling since that last pit stop. They made no changes on the car, but for some reason, Joe said the car is terrible. His word. He said it's tight, and he has complained on the radio, and the only thing they can do now is hope this racetrack comes to them, whereas the tires wear down, the car performs better. Nemechek thought he was going to be a winner. Now he's in trouble.
Aston Lewis making an unscheduled pit stop, steaming.
Looked like she may be done. Looked like she's running warm. They're going to raise the hood. Here we see Mark Truex Jr. in the 8 car picking off one by one. He just goes underneath Tracy Hines in that 6 car. But I'm going to tell you, pretty impressive run by Tracy Hines in the car behind Mark Truex Jr. This is his very first Busch Series start. He has hung out on the lead lap all day long, driving that Tommy Baldwin car.
And Martin, you know, if you think back to Darlington, he was dog meat. He was back in there 17th, 18th, getting bumped around. They made some changes on his last stop, and that cat came to the front in a hurry, past a bunch of cars like he's doing today.
And there's Hines, the 2002 USAC Sprint Car champion, and the 2000 Silver Crown champ. Winning its driver to IRP in USAC Sprints, now moving up to the Busch Series. 156 laps complete in the O'Reilly 300. Bobby Hamilton Jr. is the leader with 15 laps to go, but he'll need a look in the mirror because Matt Kenseth is coming.
And he is coming and coming and coming. He's blowing by everybody he comes to pretty easily.
Yeah, Jeff Hammond, you've been clocking that 17 car. How many seconds, and it's seconds, has he knocked off in about the last 10 or 12 laps?
About 12 laps right now, Larry. He's knocked almost 3.5 seconds off that leader's advantage. And I mean, he's coming in a hurry. On average, he's knocking down 2 to 4 tenths a lap compared to Bobby Hamilton.
And Jeff, he's doing it so much. Third turn is where I just see him making time on everybody. He gets in there, looks like 20 car lengths better than anybody.
And what's impressive, Darrell, is the fact he can do it on the bottom or the top. So it's very impressive. We see right now the 55 car's got his hands full with the 37 car of David Green, and this can have implications as far as the championship's concerned. David Green's been making a real strong run in the points recently, so these two guys are here going at it. It's going to be real impressive to see how David Green handles the remainder of this race with his 13 laps to go.
Hammond, who does that guy in that 17 drive like?
Hey, you know who he drives like, just like I do. The guy who used to drive at 17 all the time, Darrell Waltrip.
No, Dad, I was thinking more like David Pearson.
No, I think he drives like you, D-Dub.
He lays back there and he comes at the end when it counts. He's smoking that cigarette and coming to the front.
Show me the money.
Jeannie?
Got to remember, too, that one pit stop where he felt like he over-adjusted. They fell as far as 13th. And when the 17 car made his way to 3rd, he came on the radio and told his crew, hey, I'm here. I wish I could have got here sooner. And as calm and cool and collected as Matt Kenseth could be, he said, I'll see what I can do.
Kenseth restarted 12th at lap 136. He runs second behind Hamilton. Kyle Busch is third. Robbie Gordon holding off David Green for fourth. Green will probably leave here with the point lead.
Darrell, that last time through 3 and 4, Bobby Hamilton Jr. moved it up to the second groove, but that time Matt Kenseth, he moved up pile 2. He picked up about half the distance to Bobby Hamilton Jr. He's there, headed off into turn 3. It'll be 10 laps to go this next time.
Adios, I see ya.
Same thing as last time by, though. Bobby Hamilton Jr. got the run, but down in 1 and 2 is where Kenseth made up so much ground the last time.
Well, I think Matt knows he's not going to give up the bottom easily, so I think he's trying to get a run up on the outside.
But he goes to the bottom because Bobby Hamilton Jr. slid off the racetrack. Now it'll be a drag race down the backstretch with lap traffic in front of him.
The hard thing is going to be for him to get by him on the inside. He's going to have to diamond the corner off to get a run on him.
Hamilton Jr. had to look up high because they're 2 by 2 just in front. Kenseth's going to have a look here, but lapped cars. Billy Parker just ahead, and Hermie Sadler ahead of him. Now go single file. And the leaders work their way around the outside. That uses up some time that Matt Kenseth might have used to his advantage. But now Hamilton can use these lap cars for a little while as a pick.
I think Matt's car is not reacting well behind the 25. I think he's picked up maybe that dreaded somewhat of an aero push.
Well, he talked about that early in the race. He needed to be out in clean air. He needed to be out in front. They'll come to the line this time. 8 laps to go.
I think Bobby's going to have to mess up somewhere along the way here, slip, not get back in the throttle all the way or something for Matt to get him now.
And this has been a race of late lead changes. Drivers who led here with 10 laps to go have only won 3 of the 7 races here.
You got to believe that Matt has run his stuff to death to get to where he is.
And remember, Bobby Hamilton Jr. sat and stalked Kyle Busch for a long, long time, saving what he has.
And Bobby Hamilton Jr. now, the last 3 laps, he's running that higher groove through 3 and 4, and his car seems to really be able to get a good light up there.
Telling him to drive off and leave him as Martin Truex has caught Jeff Burton. This would be for 11th.
There he is, Matt Kenseth there off in turn 2, but it's going to be another drag race. Bobby Hamilton Jr. able to keep the momentum down the backstretch.
He's going to have to get far enough by him and put a slide job on him if he's going to pass him like that. Here he goes, and he's really good right here, but he can't get enough momentum.
But they're side by side, Darrell, and they've got the lap car of Dave Blaney, the 31 car there. Bobby Hamilton Jr. is able to use him as a pick. 6 laps to go.
He's going to get him, I'm pretty sure.
Now it's open sailing in front of them. So Hamilton can't sniff a draft off a lap car. Here comes Kenseth.
He'll get him because he can get into 3. Matt Kenseth.
Oh, front straightaway. Tracy Hines spins, and he is collected by Kane.
And the 17, I think, was in front of the 38.
It'll depend on when NASCAR rules the moment of caution.
Remember, the field is frozen right here.
No, I'm pretty sure.
And lap 196, and we just completed 195. 196 is the red flag lap number. With 4 to go, we're 1 lap away from that.
Casey Kane, tough day. He could not avoid a spinning Tracy Hines.
Yeah, Kane's got off to a great start, but the last couple of weeks have not been kind to him.
Now we will check. NASCAR will check as to when the moment of caution was, look at scoring at that instant, and see who is the leader. Also, we are told that this race will be halted. They're going to issue the red flag, clean up so they can restart and finish this off.
But once again, the teams were told at the drivers' meeting this morning, we were told this morning that if it was before lap 196, that we would throw the red flag with 4 to go, and we are being told the moment the caution flag came out, Matt Kenseth, the 17, was still the leader.
Now Kane has hit him, caution is out. Now, at the same moment, when that caution is displayed, here is where the 2 leaders were up in turn number 3. So NASCAR has the ability to review both the spin and match up the time code, what we call the time code on the videotape, with where the leaders were at that same moment. They also have scoring transponder lines at various places around the racetrack, not just at start-finish, to help determine who is the leader.
Yeah, they got the track broken up into 4 parts. There's a score line 1, 2, 3, and 4, all 4 corners, and so they know right where those cars were.
Now, when the cars came down the front stretch, they got the 1 to go, so they're coming to the green, so we will get 3 laps of green flag racing.
It'll be 3 laps of Texas Hold'em. Can Matt Kenseth hold off Bobby Hamilton Jr.? Can rookie pole sitter Kyle Busch, who has led the most laps today, can he get back to the front with his Chevrolet? Robbie Gordon has been strong all day. David Green, point racing in that Pontiac, trying to take over the point lead. He's the 5th place car. We're about to find out who's... Go ahead.
Benson, Leffler, and there's a number of guys up here that we know, haven't talked much about that have got a chance to move up some more.
Have to be careful, not spin those rear tires on those older tires.
Bobby Hamilton, Bobby Jr., he got a little wiggle on his.
And he's going to lose the position to Kyle Busch and maybe even another position. He didn't get going at all.
No, he spun the tires there and he couldn't get going.
Robbie Gordon moves up to 3rd.
That's good news for Matt Kenseth in the 17 car. 2.5 laps to go.
David Green gained some spots. Now he's backing up into turn 3.
Just couldn't get going. I think you pick up so much stuff on your tires that it just hinders you on the restart.
I don't think it's bad, but I think Kyle Busch has a right front fender rub where he got into the back of Bobby Hamilton Jr. in the 25 car. Probably won't be a problem. 2 laps to go.
Actually, that caution could have helped Kyle Busch because using that right front up the way he was, got that tire cooled down. You have some grip here for a lap or two.
Hey, what, Bobby Hamilton Jr. to 25. He's going to lose another position, possibly to Johnny Benson in the 1-car battle for 4th. White flag for Matt Kenseth.
Benson to the inside. He's been strong all day, trying to climb up to 4th. First time today. White flag waves, and Matt Kenseth waves bye-bye to the field. Caution is out. The field is frozen. They'll come around to the checkered flag.
Yeah, the field is frozen right there. I would say the only question would be the fact if the 00 Jason Leffler was in front of Bobby Hamilton Jr. in the 25, that would be basically for 5th position.
The 8th caution of the day is for a car that has stalled down at the inside of turn number 2. We're told that is Clint Boyer, who was 106 laps down, came out to try to take the checkered flag at the finish.
And Matt Kenseth climbs from the race car victorious. Matt, you guys just kept getting better and better and better. Tell us about the shootout.
Busch beer burns.
It does.
You know, we had a real pushy race car all day long, and I was really surprised we won with it, actually. But it's cool to have one-a-day Weight Smart on here. We got Bayer Consumer Care for a sponsor, and they do a great job. And I can hardly talk. My eyes are burning so bad. Ford Motor Company and Roush Racing did a great job with engines. They had decent pit stops, and Cully's my saving grace. He's an awesome crew chief, and he gets these cars dialed in and listens to me whine all day and still gets them run up front.
Matt, what does it mean to win here at Texas in this series?
It's always cool to win at Texas. You know, Eddie Gossage does such a nice job of having a great facility. We got great race fans that come to Texas. It's always a big crowd, and had a nice 2-lane track today. I mean, I thought the bottom was going to be the way, and I could hardly pass the 25 on the bottom, so it was a great duel with Bobby Jr. That was really fun to race him, and it's a great facility. We've been to victory lane with the Cup car, and it's cool to bring the Busch car to victory lane.
Understandably, Bobby Hamilton Jr. kind of confused, trying to figure out what's going on, pretty heated on the radio. What seemed to be the problem?
Same thing happened at Kansas. The motor guys tell me to clear it out as soon as we go, and I had it in neutral, about 7,000, just letting it idle at 7,000, getting cool air. You take off and it just stumbles. I mean, same thing that happened at Kansas. I don't know, but, you know, they'll fix it. If not, we'll just keep losing races that way. But 17 was stout. You know, if it wasn't for the caution, we'd have been a second-place car. I mean, we would have got out-track timed and probably out-experienced by Winston Cup champion. But this team is, we got put down a lot at the beginning of the year. I'm expecting my first child, and people were saying that I was cruising now, all that type stuff. I said, one way to do this is shove it back to them and go down there and win Texas, and from here on out, just hang our neck on the line and do whatever we got to do to win races. And Ford, Marines, Timberland Pro, Pioneer Services, everybody at this team, Harold Hawley, just a great job.
Well, you may not have won today, but everybody saw what kind of heart you have and what kind of driver you are. It was fun to watch.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.